Hello everyone, today I'm going to be bringing you guys a Red Dragon Archfiend list post Genesys point list update. And luckily, this list I was running before the update and literally had to change no single card in the deck since all the different point changes worked out. The list just went from 91 to 96 points. I'll get started. First we'll start with the main deck and the main deck monsters. Just separate these out. Put this to the side. Okay. Start off with the Soul Resonator. Use run 3. It's the main starter of the deck. The one card combo of the deck. Gets you to everything. Gets you to your main end board. And obviously with a few more extenders you can extend into a much better end board. Then we have the 3 Vision Resonator. This helps you extend, and if you send it to the graveyard with an effect or like discarding or with Bone Archfiend, you can add Crimson Gaia or the Red Zone the Trap. Pretty straightforward. Then here we have the Synchron Resonator. Just another extender. Level 1 Synchro that comes up sometimes in Crimson Resonator. Sometimes if you hard draw this, you just want to special summon it. Go to Red Rising, not bring something back, summon 2 other. You usually want to summon this and this with the Red Resonator and go into the super hot, the level 12, the Red Nova Dragon. And you send on that with the Red Rain set. Another starter, Earthbound, Immortal, Earthbound Prisoner, Stone Sleeper. You can discard this, add any level 3 lower Fiend Tuner. You usually add the Soul Resonator. It's just worse into draw than just actually hard drawing the Soul Resonator. So we'll move on to the next card, the Red Lotus King Flame Crime. You can summon him on if you control the tuner, or if your opponent controls a special summon monster. Sometimes he can act like as a hand trap on your opponent's turn. Special summon him, burn your opponent for 400. Pretty straightforward. Sometimes like that way you can just get a body on the board or almost summon next turn, and then you have 2 bodies. Use the Synchro and stuff. Then I'm playing double Bone Archfiend. You can play 3 if you'd like. I'm just playing 2 for the moment, but like 3 is always pretty good. Sometimes I don't draw I don't like drawing 2 of these guys, so I just like running 2. Most likely is C1 most of the time. So it's a really good card. Obviously you can also send the Vision Resonator at Crimson Gaia or the Red Zone. So like sometimes if you don't have access to Crimson Gaia, and you have him in a tuner, you can summon him, dump and then extend with Crimson Gaia. Like you can send the Vision Resonator, activate Gaia, add another Vision Resonator, and extend that way as well. We then have this guy, the Earthbound Immortal Red Nova. So it's just a 1-off. You can search him off Crimson Gaia, or if you hard draw him, either way. And like he just helps you. The main reason I'm running him is so you can sheet out the Red Nova Dragon. Especially going second, get a big body, is clear, deal a lot of damage. So I think just as a 1, you could try running him as a 3-off, but like he doesn't really do much by himself. So just as a 1-off, I think he's good enough for like that's like all basically the requirements except this guy, but like everything else is like we usually want to run in the deck. We then have the Assault Synchron. I think it's a really good extender. You can just special summon him from your hand by paying 700. Helps you get into the higher rank. Like if you can get it into a Scar Dragon Archfiend or an RDA, you special summon him, gives you a level 10 synchro with really not much effort. Then we have this card is a 1-up. You can play as a 3-up if you'd like. The Revolution Synchron. You can synchro with him just from your hand, and you can also like bring him back. He comes to level 1, helps you with more extension. And then I like to combine him with the Kaiser Vorse Raider. He's just if you control the monsters, he's a special summon. So in theory you can like summon him then synchro with him in your hand. You don't even have to use your normal summon. Summon out discard Dragon Archfiend. Use his effect, send a card from the top of your deck, bring him back. Then you get, just from a 2-card combo, you get to this, and then you can go effect, summon the Red Dragon Archfiend back to your field. So just from like drawing these 2 cards, you get to this and this on your field. Then if you draw like this Assault Synchron, you can summon him, synchro these guys off, get a Dissipator. So it really helps you combo off. With it's a 2-card combo, but like you're not always going to see a way to the Soul Resonator. So when I was thinking of like putting these cards in the deck, I thought like, how can I get more bodies or like more ways to synchro to the monsters I want to get? So that was my logic when looking to include these cards. Now for the next monsters, we have Estrudo, Lost Dragons, Prison, and he's just another special summon, either from hand or graveyard. So he can be with any monster. He can just become any level 7 synchro. We usually have 2 that'll show off, and why I run him. He can also, like, if you plays accordingly, he can just help you get to level 8, 9, or 10, depending on like the monster you target, then reduce this level. So he's just like, you can easily go Bone Archfiend. Like if you draw him with Bone Archfiend, just go Bone Archfiend, discard him, special the Bone Archfiend, summon him back, he becomes a level 3. And then you can go Bone Archfiend Send, increase the Bone Archfiend to level 5, and you have a level 8 right there, just from two monster cards. So that's why I'm running him. So yeah, he helps you just combo off even more. And then we have the last monster, which is I think this is the first point card that we have in the deck. Is we have 15 points right here, 5 for each. I think that's the first, and then the second point card, which makes us to 30, is Nibiru. This went down from 10 to 5, so this is 15, that's 30. And like Nibiru is really good, I think, because not many decks have a way to set up a negate to summon Nibiru before the 5th summon, or don't really have a way to play past 5 summons. So I think you probably see a lot of this card being played a lot more, either in the main, most likely in the main, but I can see people setting it in. And yeah, I think it's going to be a really good card in Genesys format. It's probably going to end up going back up in points if it sees a lot of play, like up to 7 or maybe even back up to 10. So yeah, Nibiru I would say is an easy inclusion, 15 easy points. Like, who's not going to complain about having a staple that cheap? Now we're going to go to the spell and traps. I'm playing 2 Crimson Gaia, same thing with Bone Archfiend. I just feel like if I see 2 of these in my hand, going first or second, it's just a card I can only activate once, and it is a starter, but it's not the best. It plays in control. I think he's playing 2, at least in my opinion, but you can play 3 if you'd like. But I think 2, I've never missed a 3rd one. I think 2 does the job. I missed my testing in real life and on Dueling Book. Then we have another starter, Resonator Call. This one's definitely 3 of its almost per turn, so you can, like, if you draw 2 add Soul Resonator, then you can add on Crimson or Vision Resonator, depending on what you feel like you might want to combo off with. So yeah, this is a mandatory card. 0 points, Rhoda for your deck is like a starter. Then another 15 points here is the Lord Darkness, 3 of. That brings us to 45 points. When playing the deck, I realized like this deck needs a lot more draw power. Sometimes I would like pull my combo off and like end on 1 or 2, like 0, 1 or 2 cards in hand, and like it's kind of hard to like what's it called, follow up with like very little cards in your hand. So Lord of Darkness just helps you draw into like more combo pieces, and like especially since this deck has way of recurring cards from the Banish Zone, you can banish a dark monster, special summon it back with like Dissipator, which is a card in the extra deck. So you can combo into Dissipator, summon back a tuner or a dark monster, keep on comboing off and get another monster on board. I think Lord of Darkness pretty good. That's yeah. So that brings us to 5. Yep. Yeah. That was 5. Trying to think what other. So I'll probably I'll separate the cards and put the point tally at the end. So we have the last 2 traps in the deck. We have Red Rain. This card's really good. You send it off the Flame Crime, and then once you synchro summon, so you synchro with the Red Crime, Flame Crime, effect engrave. You send this, and then once you synchro summon again, you add effect to hand. Sometimes you can end on this and one synchro, and that once you see your opponent committing a lot of monsters to the field, you activate this, banish their whole board, and then like it's the same thing as Nip. Not a lot of decks can recover from that. So like this trap card is insane for like interruption. Then you have the red zone. Depending on your hand, you might not get to this every turn, but like if you can get to it, this is so if you control RDA, your opponent activates a card, you can pop it. So like they go to activate continuous, you have RDA, you can just pop it or a field spell. They can't do anything bad. And then like obvious also on your turn quick effect, they banish one of your dragons, so you have a banished dragon. You can just summon it back on their turn, on your turn, and like obvious on your turn as well. So it's like a good card to recur your banished stuff. Like in case you like, let's say you end on a level 10, but you have also level 8 lower level dark dragon synchro monsters, you can just go red drain, banish your stuff. Red zone brings one of them back on their turn, and then on your next turn bring the other one back. So like if you end on multiple monsters with red drain, you can bring them back with red zone. So that's it for the main deck. I'm going to be moving to the extra deck. So for the extra deck, I'm just playing the 2 Red Dragon Archfiends. Pretty straightforward. It's the name of the deck, the iconic monster of the deck, you know. And you can also, like, if your opponent just summons in defense, you can just clear their whole board with this attack, destroy the rest of their defense monsters. There's a card I'm running inside that helps you facilitate that. Then also Crimson Gaia also does that. I think when you declare an attack with Crimson Gaia, you can with RDA you can activate the effect, switch your opponent's monsters to defense, and just clear the whole board with that. So then we have 2 Scarred Dragon Archfiends. This card is level 8. You go into it, then you can use him as synchro material, send it to the grave, and then his effect, once you use the synchro material and send to the graveyard, collides all your opponent's attack position monsters, and then you can special summon this from the extra deck, count as a synchro summon. They're pretty straightforward, so it helps you not only you can use him as synchro material, but helps you recover the body you used to use, and you can make another synchro monsters with the RDA if you'd like. We then have the heart and soul of this deck, the Red Rising Dragon. Helps you synchro climb. You can use synchro and then trigger a resonator in your graveyard, summon it back, and like keep on claiming into other synchro monsters that you want to summon. I will say from testing, a lot of people DD Crow your target, so just keep that in mind. If you don't really have an extender in hand, you might get punished and just pass on this guy. So that's why, like, make sure to think your plays through, and like, because DD Crow 0 points, I think everybody's probably running it in their deck. So just keep that in mind when going into this. Like, make sure that you have like a Vision Resonator or an Soul Synchron or something like that in your hand in order to like special summon and extend with this, extend past the DD Crow if they have it. Let's see, so we get the first boss monster of the deck, the Hot Red Dragon Abyss. You can just bring this guy out off of the 1-card combo with Soul Resonator. Obviously you synchro him, bring him back, get to this guy. And honestly, sometimes just ending on him and the red rain is almost enough just to like make your opponent pass back to you, and then you can, the follow-up with this deck is really good. You can get like 2-3 monsters and you'll still take care of your opponent with the follow-up. So yeah, sometimes like you think, oh, just 1 monster, 1 trap, that's not enough. With this deck, it's almost enough to like your opponent you just negate one of their cards. They try to come into the board, you activate your trap, banish other stuff, and they probably pass back to you from my testing. And then the next card, Red Nova Dragon. Sometimes you can hard make this, but usually you'll just cheat him out with the Earthbound Immortal Red Nova. You summon the Red Dragon Archfiend, Earthbound Immortal effect, summon him out, and then like you have a big body on your side of the board that can't be destroyed by card effects, so it makes it a bit harder for your opponent to out. Okay, they have to Kaiju it, banish it, send it to grave non-targeting or something like that. Or you can target, but you just can't destroy it. And like a lot of removal in the game in Genesys right now is destruction. I'm trying to think, like one of the only cards I can think of at the moment is maybe like Mirror Jade. You can banish it, you know. But and obviously he gains 500 attack for each turn in your grave, so he's a big guy. It's gonna be hard to. He already has 3500 attack, and like usually in your combo, you should have at least like 1 or 2 tuners in your grave. So you'll be at least at 4k because you'll have at least this in your grave. But obviously you might combo off more, so you can have like maybe 2-3 tuners in your grave. You'll be at 5k at most. So it's like, who's gonna get over a 5k monster pretty easily? Nobody really. And then we have the other big boss monster of the game, the Red Supernova Dragon. So if you start the duel with Crimson Resonator in your hand, you summon the Crimson Resonator, summon Red Rising Dragon. You don't summon back. Then you just go Crimson Resonator, summon Soul and the Synchron Resonator. Then you just go into this guy, set the Red Rain. Once you summon him, then you have essentially the same thing with like Red Nova Dragon. You have this guy, and then you have Red Rain plus this, so then you have a monster board wipe with Red Rain, and then your opponent tries to activate another monster phase, and they have spell traps. You just go this, banish this, and you clear the whole board, and then you get this back in your end phase. So then like you have another big body. He's at 4k, so you can get up to like 55, 65k depending on the tuners in your grave, and like your opponent's not going to be able to out this guy. Essentially just win the game once you bring this guy out. And like he also helps you. We are running kaiju in this side, as you guys see, but if you can't get to this, like if you don't necessarily need these. If you're able to get to this, you can just attack over any high attack towers like Tiger Dancer, the Super Quant one, which those are 2 decks that are actually playable in Genesys since I've played against them on DB. Not in real life yet though. Even there's one guy at my locals that does play those 2 decks, funnily enough. We have Kui Belt for the non-RDA package. In the extra deck we have Kui Belt. He's Synchro 7, so you can summon him with Destrudo or like Bone Archfiend plus another tuner. So it's pretty easy to make in the deck. So usually you want to make him go in second. I guess you can just pop a card on the field. But if you make him going first, the second effect is if he's destroyed, you can target one of your opponent's monsters they can't attack. So you're probably if you're going first, you're probably summon a defense. They have to attack into it if they can't remove it. Then you can survive the turn if you don't draw the best hand. With like this deck build, I think you should be drawing decent hands that let you combo and summon more than just him, but you never know, worst case scenario. And then for going second, we have the Black Rose Dragon, what I'm talking about. Black Rose Dragon. You can, if you have like Bone Archfiend and Destrudo going second in your hand, you can go Bone Archfiend, discard the Destrudo, and then bring the Destrudo back. That's a level 7. You summon him out, clear your opponent's whole board. Especially if they don't have any negates. He has like destruction or interaction like that. And a lot of people won't see this coming. They're like, what, you're playing Red Dragon, Black Rose Dragon in this deck? Because like this guy locks you into Dark Dragons. But if you just make him with like if you make this before you do this, you should be fine. For some other, and then for the level 10s, we have, how do you say this character? Dracocytos Corrupted Nether Soul Dragon. So he can't be destroyed by battle, and then he can, I guess the effect, like if you attack your opponent's monsters, you can attack another one, so you can attack twice each turn, clear 2 bodies. 4k attack monster, and then during your standby phase, if he survives the turn, you can just burn your opponent for half the attack of another monsters. Pretty good. This guy, I don't really make him that much, but he can come up like tuner plus 2 non-tuners, and he's similar to him. He's the only monster that can attack, then you can reduce the attack of one of your monsters. Opponent's monsters attack it, and then obviously they only take half damage, but like another option to go into, you can cut this card if you want to play something else. And then lastly, one of the strongest monsters in the deck is 10 points. The Abyssal Dissipator. Obviously, monster negate or destruction depending. So you shuffle from your grave, from your banished back to the deck. It's a pop, destroy a monster if your opponent acts as a monster effect. And then if you shuffle from their banished, you can negate. So usually if you end on this plus Red Rain, you go Red Rain first, and then if they try to extend, you just dissipate or shuffle back from their graveyard and negate. That's usually the combo that you do with the Dissipator. And lastly for the side deck, in the side deck, this is what I'm running personally, but you can change it up however you seem fit. So we're running, for the first 3 cards, we're running 3 Kaijus. This helps you at the tower decks. You know, pretty straightforward, not much to explain. You can, if you don't feel like you need these, you can change these out. Now one of the cards I'm running specifically for this deck is Swords of Concealing Light. This is on activation. So you can just all your opponent's monsters are face on defense. The logic behind this is like, you know, Dread Dragon Archfiend, after damage calculation, can destroy all defense position monsters your opponent controls, right? Yep. So like Book of Eclipse is 5 points, Book of Moon has like 3 points. Then the other book card, which is like, I forget what it's called, but it's discard book 2 monsters. You have to discard, but like this card is free and like gets the job done. 0 points. And I think the only way they can out this is like if they have a card that pops. I don't think you can ghost over this, but like, you know, if they have a card like Cosmic Cyclone or an MST set, but like you're setting this in, so your opponent's not gonna probably like they're not gonna think to set in an MST or Cosmic or Twin Twister against you. They're probably not gonna think you're playing it. They're not gonna think that you're playing a card like this in order to like book their stuff. So I think, yeah, this card is, I think it's pretty good in combination with the Dragon Archfiend, just to clear your opponent's board. Then we have Twin Twisters, just for back row decks, you know. The Apophis deck is a deck. Ninjas, since they got their points reduced, it's going to be a deck that's going to be that you're going to see around a lot more. And like the Ninja deck has a whole bunch of continuous spell and trap cards they activate, especially continuous trap cards on your turn. There's one that tributes summons a whole bunch of guys, and there's a few other ones where you can like Twin Twister and Forcer their back row out, so I think it's pretty good. And then we have Cosmic Cyclone, same thing. Banish, you can side this in going first as well, but especially more for going second, you can banish like, yeah, any back row your opponent may have, or field spell continuous, or like if they set up a floodgate, even though floodgates, most of them are 100 points, but you never know, or like equip spells, same thing as back row hate. And then the last card is Drowning Mirror Force. Siding going first, like you can, I'd probably take out the nibs, throw these 3 in, and like obviously if you can't, your opponent interrupts you a lot, you can just hit this. Your opponent goes battle phase, just bounce back everything, then you should have like some sort of follow up for the next turn, and then you can just beat your opponent that way. So yeah, that has been the deck profile. Let me just give me a second to pull out all the point cards just so people know. So this current build of the deck is actually only 75 points. I had 3 rare Gekis, but I took them out for the Kaijus. There we go. So we have Abyss, which is 20 points, which is the new update. Dissipator, which is 10 points. That's 30. Then we have 3 Allure, that's 15, 5 each. 3 Nibiru, that's another 5 each, 15. Then a Soul Synchron, 15, 5 each. So yeah, that's 75 in total. So you have another 25 points to play around with. You can play more, you can take out some cards, play more hand traps, set in more hand traps, set in other pointed cards. So you can probably, you could probably, instead of the continuous, the sorts of concealing, that you could probably play Book of Eclipse, but just remember that can get ashed, Book of Eclipse. So yeah, you can just probably like take out some card, put some more cards in, and like, so you have 25, or you can put in some other synchro monsters in extra deck you see fit. But yeah, I think this is just my personal preference for the deck, and yeah, thank you for watching.